Welcome back, piggies, to another episode of the Pigskin Pals podcast with your hosts Dane and AJ. This episode, we're just going to be doing a quick overview of our Week 2 picks for our redraft and dynasty leagues, as well as an in-depth look at our Week 2 DFS lineups. Not going to spoil anything, but I took the dub last week. Let's get stuck right into it.
All right, Week 1 is in the books, and I have a couple of quick questions, actually, before we hop into the recap that I'm going to get your opinion on. So this is a different redraft league. I was offered before, this was prior to right after the draft, pretty much, and before Week 1, this guy was really wanting Brian Thomas Jr., and he was offering, like, Brian Robinson and Jalen Polk or someone. I was like, I think I just want to, like, hold on to Brian Thomas and see that upside. Week 1 happened. He's still interested. He offered me then Chase Brown and Gabriel Davis for Brian Thomas and Jonathan Brooks. Hardest decline of my life.
Wow.
But then the same guy goes out somehow and trades Gabriel Davis, Brian Robinson, Jalen Polk for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Keon Coleman.
Wow. So it was Gabe Davis, Jalen Polk, and Brian Robinson for Marvin Harrison. Yeah, I'm not going to see that. Marvin Harrison and Keon Coleman. That's a steal for that guy. That's fantastic. Because Keon Coleman, first of all, had a pretty okay game.
Yeah.
He was their leading receiver. Like, I'm pretty happy as a Keon Coleman owner in redraft. I'm pretty happy with his first week. And Marvin Harrison Jr., he'll be fine. It's just week 1. That's an overreaction.
I know.
That's incredible. I mean, I love that for him.
I don't even know who, like Brian Robinson's probably the best player in that trade.
Absolutely.
Definitely is. Maybe Polk outperforms him way later.
Doubt it.
His expectations, like Polk's expectations, are nowhere near Marvin Harrison or Keon Coleman. And Coleman actually showed something. We all know how great Marvin Harrison should be too. I should have been offering to this manager. I just need to start sending out more trades to teams that lost or like players underperformed and try and buy really low. And then also, I'm just like, damn, I could have gotten Robinson and Davis and gotten this trade done for my team too.
Oh yeah, that's true. You just get those guys and then you would have traded away. Oh my god, that would have been fantastic.
But like, I'm so just confused how.
No, you're definitely right though.
Your second round pick you just trade away after week 1.
No, you're totally right that I need to, and you need to, and anyone who's listening needs to. There's guys that underperformed week 1, and maybe you won't watch this till after week 1. There's going to be guys that underperform in week 1 and week 2. Just send a trade. People are probably going to be freaking out. Send a trade. What's the worst thing to happen? They say no, and maybe they're like, you're close, and then you can add something else shitty, and you still get it done. Like, I think it's always worth just sending the trade out and seeing what happens.
The other thing, too, is this year I kind of want to be ahead of the curve also on players that shine. I want to try and acquire them before they continue, like, just keep performing really well. And I get, like, almost a buy low at that point.
Yes. But in terms of, just as an example, I hate that I use this example so much because people think it's, like, homerish in a way that, like, because I picked him. But, like, Puka last year, people bought low on, or not bought low, but, like, sold high, in air quotes, on Puka after his week 1. And then that's when the people who are trying to do what you're doing take advantage of that, get the player that just continues being good.
And then, I tried doing it this week, but I got cold feet immediately. I sent Peter a trade offer for Likely because I do really like Likely, and I think he would be a good dynasty tight end. I sent Njoku and Austin's 3rd round pick this year. And I was like, and then I just withdrew it.
I don't hate that at all. Like,
I know.
I think you should not get cold feet and just do it and see what happens.
But it's not like I need a tight end. Like, I took a step back and I'm like, okay, I don't absolutely need a tight end. Well, and then also, like, this could be the 301 where I could actually get a player still.
Yeah, but okay. You have to think about the ceiling on Likely. If you really like him and you think he's gonna be that good, what are you really normally getting at the 301 that really matters? Probably not all that much. And do you just start Njoku? Who's your other tight end?
Kincaid.
Never mind. I think I take back what I've been saying.
Yeah.
You have Kincaid. I mean, it's not like a bad trade. It's not. I think I'd rather have Likely at this point than Njoku.
Oh, me too.
But it's not like you need to do this, right?
No, it's more like a depth upgrade and confidence boost, and maybe a long run payout when Likely signs to like a new team or they move on from Andrews.
Yeah, no.
But like that's almost a long play. I was like, maybe it could happen as soon as like this year, or like him and Andrews are both top maybe 8 tight ends, and that's like best case scenario this year, and that would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's why I got cold feet and I pulled out the trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you had made the trade, I'd be like, oh, nice trade still. Like, even though you have Kincaid, I'd still like the trade. But it's not like something where I'm like, oh, dude, do that. Like, you have to do that.
Yeah, like I almost think like I could almost get likely maybe at the start of rookie draft for the 301 and a future
Yeah.
other pick or
Two,
something
you
like
should do
that.
like 2/3,
Or
right? Like a third and a future third or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You probably could. So it's not like something you need to do now. The only issue is if he does end up being really good, you're not going to be able to do that. Like,
No.
if this could be the cheapest he'll ever be again, that's the only issue.
that's why maybe I'll revisit it week 2. We'll see.
See what happens. Yep.
The other quick question I had was I was looking through our show doc or just our we don't have a show doc, but we have like
Shh, don't tell them that. Shh.
yeah, doc that we hold some information in, and one of the things that popped out to me was the 2024 accolade picks. Are you confident in any? Are you
Well, that's a
like,
good
damn, I
question.
shouldn't have picked this with
I gotta pull
some
it
of
up.
your picks?
I feel like
can
right
go,
now, I feel like I'm cooking.
you are. I think like your Jaden Daniels,
Jaden Daniels,
offensive
Josh
rookie year
Allen
pick
looks really
was
good.
nice.
Micah Parsons started off hot. Kirk Cousins, not the case.
Rodgers is looking good though.
That's true. That's true. And Bijan is actually looking better than JT right now. But Lions Ravens Super Bowl, I feel like is still very reasonable. Bengals Niners looks a little bit worse, and so does the Burrow thing. But that could be an overreaction to Week 1. So right now, I feel pretty good, especially about my MVP, my Offensive Player of the Year, and my Defensive Player of the Year. I feel good about.
If I could switch, I would choose TJ Watt as my defensive player of the year. I don't
Yeah, he's a
know
freak.
why I didn't choose him. Who won defensive player of the year last year?
Miles Garrett.
Yeah, that's what I heard during the Cowboy game. Was like, was it not TJ Watt? I feel like that's why I didn't choose TJ Watt.
No,
But
it was Miles Garrett.
yeah, damn, I should have chose him. Interesting. Yeah, we talked about it in that episode that we went over it, but no one did pick Caleb Williams. I went with Marvin Harrison, and then I thought, oh wow, it could have been a layup for you to choose Caleb Williams, but you went Jaden Daniels, which was pretty
So
interesting.
far.
And so far, week
Looking
one,
alright.
it's looking nice.
And like we said, like we can't really talk too much about that type of thing. I feel like right now, just because we may be overreacting a little bit to Week 1. This reminds me of like it doesn't remind me, but I have to remind myself that like in college, I remember I think it was like junior year, John Ross III was like the wide receiver 1 through. Or,
That's what
like,
I was
wide
thinking
receiver
of.
3 through like 3 weeks, and I was like trying to trade him with someone to like package up. I'm like, dude, but he's like the wide receiver 3, dude, and then he was like the wide receiver 37 at the end of the year. It's like you can't think too much into it right away.
You were trying to ship John Ross, or you were trying to get?
Yeah, I was
John
trying to
Ross?
ship him. I was trying to package him. Ross was
No one
someone
was
to get like a
buying him that
stud.
year.
No one wants John Ross III, bro. Come on, no.
I mean, he was playing like lights out for that start of the season.
was,
It
but
was like
everyone
him
was
and
like-
I think like Hollywood was going off
I think
too.
Sammy Watkins might have been going off that year. Who knows?
That year was so fun because I'm pretty sure, was that the Mahomes year? No, that
don't
was
remember.
Lamar's MVP year, I think.
Yeah, because I traded
Mahomes'
Lamar away
second
early.
year was, yeah.
Traded Lamar away early for some running backs. I needed running back help because I thought, oh, like I had a good quarterback. Like it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I'm like, oh, he's gonna fall off. He's young, and then he was the MVP, and I said, my bad. I got like Sony Michelle and one other guy. It was not good. That's just funny stuff to think back on. Overreacting early. Don't do it. I think that's the main thing. Don't overreact.
Unless like you have some real clear evidence
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
why you're reacting that way. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll understand at that point. But we can move on to the rest of our show. We have the week 2 picks for our leagues. We'll briefly go through those. We have a couple differences this week, and then we'll get into our DFS lineup on DraftKings. Use promo code. I don't even know what I think
Littlefoot
it's
42. Oh, that's too good. Use some
So
promo code
for-
from someone else, probably.
Yeah, week 2, a matchup between AJ and
Dude.
I already. We both picked ourselves. I mean, we were gonna choose each other for this. I'm not insanely confident about it, but I just
neither.
wanted to choose myself. So I
course.
can run through my lineup quick, or do you want me to run through like by position of? Should we just do like position and then choose
Yeah.
our favorite from that, and then
Yeah, let's do it. We got
okay.
Lamar versus Purdy.
Purdy
Lamar.
versus Minnesota. Lamar versus the Raiders. I think this could be closer than what we want, where Minnesota's defense is vulnerable. Raiders have a good defense. They can just shut down the Ravens pretty early. Like, they don't have to do that much.
I still think Lamar, personally, but obviously
Yeah.
I'm a little biased.
Yeah, definitely Lamar.
Yeah. But I could see it being closer than we think, maybe. Then we got at RB1, Ramondre, who popped off last week. Appreciate it, Ramondre. And Brees Hall. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I think it's just going to be Brees.
Yeah, we can.
I'm assuming you
I have
agree.
Brees and Achan, and you have Stevenson and Dobbins.
Yeah, I have
starting.
Dobbins, in for Zeke and Javante. I think I'm going Dobbins this week.
You were chasing those
Yeah.
RB points
Well,
from
I
last
feel,
week.
I just want to mention one thing about my team from last week. I feel pretty solid about my team because I think I had 3 guys play well and I won. I scored like 130 points. Like Ramondre played well, Lamar played well, and Tyreek played well. Everyone else on my team absolutely shit the bed. So that just gets a little confidence. So that's all you need. You just need 3 good guys, and then the rest of the guys need to be all right.
Well,
I'd take your running back room. But
you
that's just
were
me.
the 3rd highest point scorer.
I'll take that.
I was the 2nd.
Goat. All right, you're different. You're different. I'll take your running back room. Do we know anything about Achan? Is he playing?
He had a limited walkthrough, but I'm assuming what I'm hopeful is they're giving Achan and Mostert rest because
Mostert
they
is
play
out,
on.
I
Because
believe.
wait 1 sec.
Oh, he's reading something. He's unhappy.
There was a different league I was thinking about. Never mind. I don't know, where did we leave off?
Running backs.
You-
We were just talking about Achan.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, little concerned with that because I don't have a lot of depth. I mean, Bucky looked okay. I would probably start him or
Yeah, probably
maybe
Bucky.
Ty Chandler. I don't really know.
I think I'd go Bucky.
So, really hoping he plays. But yeah, liking my running backs. I got Debo and Godwin, and you got Tyreek
Hill
and
and
Adams.
I like me there, but I don't think it'll. I think Tyreek and Debo will probably be pretty similar. I'd bet Hill outscores, and I think Godwin and Adams might be a toss up, but I like the upside of Adams more. That's where I'm at there.
I like the upside of the Buccaneers offense more than
Sure, I get what you're saying.
the 2 years ago Devontae Adams that was. Like, I really, as much of a fan of Devontae Adams as I am, I'm never touching him in fantasy again.
I will say I am a bit mad at myself for not, and this isn't recency bias. This is just something like it just didn't cross my mind during the draft. I should have done this. I think I should have taken Mike Evans here if I was going to take a receiver instead of Adams, and then I'd feel like really nice. Like if I had Evans instead of Adams here, I'd be
Yeah.
like sick. But either
Like,
way, I think Adams is good.
he has the name value. It's just that quarterback room
Mm-hmm.
I do not think will be able to provide the value that he needs.
Mm-hmm.
We both got some studs, maybe, at tight end. We
Yeah.
got Andrews and Kelsey. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's probably a toss-up. I'll go Kelsey here. I think Kelsey's safer, especially now with likely being in the mix, at least for like this week until we find out how it really pans out. But I will say, you having Mark Andrews is kind of nice for you, because if Lamar pops off to Andrews at all, you're winning that exchange.
Mm-hmm. And then I just gotta hope it all goes to Andrews instead of Flowers. What I did see is that someone called out that the DC's game plan for the Chiefs was just stopping Andrews, I think, and he was being like double, triple covered.
I think you're right.
We'll see what happens against the Raiders, who I don't think they like specialize that much, but we'll see. Then we got some fun players in our flexes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
we
sure I'm
do.
rocking Brandon Cooks. I might just have to rock Jaden Reed. I could put
That's
Deontay or
tough.
Tyler Lockett. Maybe, I mean, if T. Higgins is playing, I'll put him in
Mm-hmm.
over Jaden Reed. But then you got Zay Flowers and Keon Coleman.
Yes, sir. I feel pretty good about both those guys, actually. I've got high hopes for Keon going forward. Like, it might take him a while. He may not be that pop-off guy, but I think he'll give me a solid, 8 to 10 to 12 point effort most weeks. And that's if the rest of the guys on my team go off like they're supposed to, or at least do as well as I think they can. I think that's all I need. So, yeah, I think we got pretty similar flex positions in terms of like fairly high upside, but like also could bust like
And then
Cooks.
we both got kickers playing tomorrow
Oh,
night.
Nice.
Jason Sanders and Tyler Bass.
Yeah, I'm going fishing.
And I got the Chargers D, and you got the Dallas D. Who is playing the team that just put up the most points in the NFL? So, I mean, you should
Yeah,
probably swap that out.
against the against the Carolina Panthers. So never mind. Yeah, no, I will be keeping the Cowboys in for sure.
You know who my favorite Cowboy is? The Marvian Overshaw.
He's a beast, dude. I love him. He's great.
He's dope. Doesn't he wears like that little bandana too that sticks out under his helmet. He looks pretty sick.
It's another week
so
of me having 3 players go Thursday. Because I got
fun.
Zay,
I like that.
I got Coleman and the kicker, so I'll know how my week's gonna go, especially since my best player is playing. So should be fun.
That will be fun. And then we have like 3 players playing in that. No, you have wow. Yeah, we're gonna know by noon
I got
probably
a
because
lot.
then you have the Lamar, you have Adams, I have
Zay.
Andrews, and you have Flowers playing. So it's gonna be settled by the end of that game.
Oh my god, I have
maybe
6 guys in 2 games. That's incredible. 6 of my
like
players are from 2
a
games.
bad week.
That's insane.
I mean,
that's not good.
I
High
don't
scoring
think
games, that's all.
I don't think we have a single 3 o'clock player. Yeah, our game's gonna be over by noon.
No.
And then we're gonna be battling the.
Hey, you're right. Holy shit. You're right. We're battling the median. For the
Yeah.
rest of the... Oh, I got Kelsey. I got Kelsey at 325.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
All right, so you'll be battling the median, and I'll be trying to score 50 points to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, it was. This is our first year with the median, and it was kind of interesting because it seemed like a lot of people had a lot of players left going on. I was like, okay, yeah, I know I'm beating it out, but it's gonna just keep rising, and it did.
I think
And
everyone's
also-
2-0 or 0-2, which is funny.
Yeah, which is what I was saying in the chat. Is I think that's gonna be the norm rather than like some people winning a game and losing a game. It's going to be more likely that you're going to lose and then you're also going to lose the second game, where it's more of a tiebreaker when you're like off by like 1 or 2 points when you scored a lot of points.
Yeah, it'll be
and
like,
lose.
you know, it'll be when you get unlucky one week, you get an extra win basically instead of an extra loss,
Yeah.
which will add up if you have a couple of those weeks. Instead of just like auto losing and not making the playoffs, you'll still be in a good spot. So I think the median is a nice change.
Yeah, I just don't want our league mates to be deteriorated by seeing the 2-0 or the 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's very true.
it is going to be all balanced out. You just have to look at it as 1 and 0
divided by 2.
and 0 and 1.
That isn't really all you got to do. Yeah, that's our matchup. I think it'll be good. I think we got a good matchup. I don't think like anyone's super favored, so I think it'll be fun if games go as planned.
Yeah. Then we're both locking in Ethan. We're both locking in Parker. And then we're also both locking in Riley. We have 2 other differences. I'm going to be going with Luke over Jake. I'm going with Luke because of his running backs. I think Jacobs is going to have a week, as you'll see in my DFS lineup. We got Kenneth Walker. I hope he plays. Jordan Mason, CMC 2.0. I mean, he's not really CMC. He didn't really catch that many balls, but
No, he didn't.
I like Luke's running backs. I like the high upside of A-Rich at quarterback, and then Mike Evans and Kittle. I like all those high upside plays too. And man, Pittsburgh D against Denver, that sounds nice too.
Yeah, I took Jake. Honestly, I think I just like a couple guys. I like a couple guys a lot, which is tilting this. I think this could be another close one. He had Love, but Love is out now, and he picked up Herbert, who plays Carolina. I think Herbert could have a really big game. I think my bounce back player of the week is Devin Singletary. He's got the Washington matchup. He didn't have a real great game last week. I don't think the Giants are all that good, but I think the Washington Commanders defense is bad enough where Singletary could have a nice week. And I think Trey McBride comes back and has a good game, and CeeDee Lamb is CeeDee Lamb. So I feel good about Jake.
I do like Pacheco. Obviously I like the studs like CeeDee Lamb and everyone that you said, but like I feel like Singletary is your bounce back player that's also gonna kind of turn the tides against Luke is not like a good call, where it's a Giants player, it's Singletary, maybe he's an RB2 at best.
Like me, dude.
Like-
I'm saying a 15-plus point week from Devin Singletary, dude.
And that's going to be a top 12 top 12 running back
Yeah,
play.
absolutely. I feel like it will be 15-plus will be in that top 12. I'd bet you.
We'll see. I mean, I don't think 15, 16 points is going to be better than Mason's guaranteed 12 points or anyone else.
We'll see. And the other matchup we have different is Ben versus Ryan. I've got Ben. He's got Jane Daniels on his bench right now, hoping he plays him because I think he's got obviously a very good matchup. Also, I think James Conner and AJ Brown are 2 guys that I would love to have on my team every week. I will probably be picking Ben's team a lot just because of those 2 guys. And Alvin Kamara, I think, is just like solid. He's a solid 12 points every week, and he has higher upside than that. So even against the Cowboys, I'm sitting him in a league because it's really small lineups, and I don't want to root against the Cowboys. So that's tough, but I think he's gonna have a good week.
I'm going with Ryan. He's got one really nice stack with Tua and Waddle in that. It should be a highest scoring Thursday night game against Buffalo. Hopefully Waddle plays. I mean, he's not even injured, but I swear I got like notifications Waddle's out during like week 1, and then he was back in playing. And
He got injured.
I don't really know.
He had, a head injury or something, but then they cleared him.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm really into those guys, really into Derrick Henry with a positive game script against the Raiders. I'm down on the Bears receivers. Keenan Allen, Rome, DJ Moore, but I don't know. Hopefully Swift can do something. I'm not high on him. I'm just down on the receiver side. Hopefully St. Brown is bounce back. And then my bounce back player of the week, you chose Singletary. Mine is Amari Cooper, who I was listening to a DFS show, and they were talking about how Jags run like the most man in the league. Deshaun Watson, when he's going against man, he throws to his first read target 91% of the time. The Browns' best receiver against man is Cooper. he's also just their best receiver, so I'm assuming he's going to
Very
be the
true.
first read. Tyson Campbell might be out, their top cornerback, so I'm pretty happy with this play. I think it's going to be a good outing by Cooper. So we can move on to our dynasty
Before we move on,
matchups.
I'm just going to mention the scoreboard. Take a look at it. We're both 4-2 after week 1, so no big pull away yet. Dead even. Moving on to dynasty.
But look at that scoreboard. Hey, yo.
Yeah, he's up 1 on me here because like last week and continuing to this week, I have Austin fever for some reason. I just take a look at his starting lineup. I'm like, this is a team that's going to win this week. And I'm doing it again. I'm taking Austin over Dane. I just think his starting lineup's good. I think some of them underperformed, like Marvin Harrison Jr., like Drake London. And I think those guys bounce back and are a problem. And they take Dane down.
Yeah, I'm choosing myself. I mean, I really hope I win. I just took a quarterback from Austin, who he probably could have started maybe over Sam Darnold, especially going against the 49ers. And then I also have some capital in a second and third round pick that, yeah, I want to be outscoring this guy every single week, pretty much. I don't know if this is going to be my final lineup yet. I got some stuff to work through. I'm starting Dobbins off of that.
Hell yeah.
Nice week. I don't have Willis in my lineup yet. That might change with going to the game, but I do really want to see if the Giants can bounce back against this Washington defense that we've been hyping up. And clearly you think they might with Devin Singletary. We'll see. I mean, I think on average my guys will outscore his guys. It will just be maybe if like I think he has some bigger boom plays with Jacobs and Marvin Harrison that could win him the week.
We're the same otherwise. Moving down the list, we both have Ethan over Parker. We both have Peter over myself. I think I'm going to take a couple L's here in the first couple weeks, unfortunately. We both got Sam over Riley, both got Jake over Ben, but we are split on a low-scoring matchup here, seemingly, with Ryan versus Luke. I have Ryan strictly for the reason that he is playing Luke, and I think Luke's team is really not very good, especially with his running back room.
Yeah, I was choosing this off the air before we recorded, and we were just kind of going back and forth, and I started getting annoyed with some of the players that you were hyping up in his quarterbacks.
Ryan's guys?
Yeah. So I was like, they're like Hurts and Baker Mayfield are so much better than Deshaun Watson and Caleb Williams, who think could have some better weeks. I was like, I got to go with Luke. So Luke, don't show me down. Obviously, I'm going to have to deal with Jaden Reed in his lineup with that Love injury and not playing any running backs, basically.
He's playing them, but they don't count.
Yeah, they will score maybe 1 point combined. So that's not a good look, and starting to regret my decision, but
I'm here for it. I need the game.
We will see. I believe that, I hope the Luke's quarterbacks can just outscore the difference of Ryan's running backs, if that makes sense.
I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll find out. This is, I kind of spoiled it already, our week 1 DFS lineup results. This is actually a pretty exciting match. Like it was really, really close. I did take the dub by about 2 points. We both had a couple heaters of picks, but also me more than you had a couple ice cold ones. So
yeah, it's interesting
all
that
the ice cubes on mine. It's insane.
We didn't have a single similar pick, which is pretty fun.
Like actual same pick? Yeah, no, not one identical pick. Which I think
it's going to change this next week, but
we
can just hop right over to that. We both have Jaden Daniels. We are chasing that rushing upside. I also think just like his price for what he did last week ain't that bad. So I'm liking that. We both have. Do we have any other ones or no?
Cooper Kupp.
Is that just?
Cooper Kupp.
Oh yeah, we both have Cooper Kupp. With your boy Puka out. I think it's going to be
against
a
an Arizona
nice
defense
week.
That I think is a little weak.
Yeah, that should be some solid points there. But do you want to go first through your thought process, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first. I got Jaden Daniels at QB, like you mentioned. Then I went a little bit cheaper at the running back position with J.K. Dobbins, who obviously has a fantastic matchup against Carolina and had a great week in week 1, so I'm kind of riding off that. As well as Tony Pollard against the Jets. Not sure exactly how this one will turn out, but he's really kind of commanded that backfield. Wasn't as much of a split as I thought it was going to be. Still is a split, but he obviously is the guy they like the most at this current moment. Mike Evans is a freak show. I think Tampa Bay Detroit could be another high-scoring game. I think he'll get peppered with targets like usual or score a touchdown. That's just what he does. Cooper Kupp, we talked about. Good matchup. No Puka. Who else is he going to throw the ball to? Stacking scary Terry McLaurin with Jaden Daniels. I like to have a stack in these. I think it's a good stack. I think New York Giants suck, and I think Terry could have a good week. And needed a cheap tight end. I did what I did last week. I stacked it with my quarterback. When you need a cheap tight end, there's no real downside to just stacking up with the guy that you got at QB. That's kind of my philosophy. So I got Zach Ertz, and he was a nice safety blanket for Jaden Daniels as well. So I don't hate it. He'll get a few catches, maybe catch tight end, catch a touchdown. That would be nice. Brian Thomas Jr. is my flex. He had a great week 1. He looked really, really good. He's pretty cheap. A nice little option, I think. Cleveland's defense didn't look all that good. It got burnt a couple times by the Cowboys. I think Brian Thomas Jr. could do the same. The best defense of the week, the Los Angeles Chargers against the Carolina Panthers. No explanation needed there. Bryce Young is Bryce Young.
Yeah, I really like my team, but what scares me is there could easily be a 20-point swing between our defenses if you just put up 10 and I put up -10 with the Cardinals. So that scares me. But I started with my lineup was locking in Jaden Daniels because I believe that he was the best value at quarterback with just that rushing floor. But I really didn't want to stack his receivers because I haven't seen too much like out of his receivers yet, or like how much he's going to be throwing. So I'm kind of happy that I see 2 Washington receivers in your lineup and I have 0.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that and just hoping for a big rushing game. After that, I locked in Cup right away too. He was my guy that I had to get in, and he was pretty expensive. And then from there, I was locking in Jacobs, Pacheco, and Jordan Mason. Probably, I'm going to sub out Mason if CMC actually plays, if that's fine with you. But I think
that's fine as long as you don't change the rest of your lineup. You can't just shake up your whole shebang.
No. It would be like a swap. That's good that I put him in my flex too, because I could swap him to any position. But
anything,
so yeah, I think those 3 running backs, like Pacheco against Cincinnati, who just got destroyed by Ramondre Stevenson. I think Pacheco's a better running back than that. Jacobs, he's going to be the bell cow against the Colts and probably the Packers offense with Love out. Jordan Mason, like a touchdown. And then from there, I went with the cheaper of the 2 Tampa Bay wide receivers, which there's only a 2-point difference between them last game. I'm just going to try and go with that value play. And then I got Rice in that lineup because that's almost like a stack without any Cincinnati players, because I was, for a while, I had Drew Sample in my tight end. I was like, there's my comeback stack.
Whoa.
But
that's crazy.
It was that or like Yosavash, and I was like, no.
Run back to
I don't want to. No. I was like, Jordan Mason's a way better play than Yosavash. Yeah, I have Pacheco and Rice. I mean, it could just be like a high-scoring game between Cincinnati and Kansas City. So banking on that, and I have hopefully the better team too. And then I got Theo Johnson at tight end, tight end, went way down, and I think it's a good all pull. That bad.
It's a good pull. I do.
I think he played 86% of the snaps, and he got 4 targets in week 1. Like, that's if you're punting,
that's a steal. That's a steal for that value. I feel like so. I think that's good for you.
And then, I have the Cardinals D, which is going to hurt, especially with Cup in my lineup, too. I'm almost like hedging that bet. But, I mean, Puka did get hurt, and we'll see how much they got to do on offense. So, we'll see what happens. But comment down below who you think is going to be winning this week. Also, comment down below who you think's going to be your redraft or dynasty pick'ems, who you think is going to be right on those, and who's going to be on the top going into week 3.
Thanks for watching. Smack that like, that subscribe, that notification bell, baby. We'll see you next time. See you later.